pitch MLB spring training, and that would not happen. Because of this, and you are so wrong on this take, it's not funny. Name any Olympic level or equipment male to female trans person who is dominating and has been on hormones for the required time.
For everyone listening, he's reading comments off TikTok.
Olympics are a complete different thing. Hold on. Olympics are a complete different thing. The NCAA, my guy, and when they take hormone, they under the law of how much they can take, and it has to be for so. Okay. Hold on, I gotta pause.
That reaction was perfect.
Okay. Long of a time, and it's under a doctor's support. So just juicing so long. Oh, okay. This guy apparently couldn't fit it all in one comment, so I have to read this. Oh wow, this guy's got.
Wow.
Hold on. Okay, it's 4 comments. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 comments in total. Is I guess.
Is it that like W something?
Walter now. Walter Newell. Walter Newell. Whatever. Replying to Eclipicat. I don't know. Olympics are complete different things.
Wait! Before you go, just the fact that like these people don't have actual regular names. It's like tags and handles.
Yeah,
go on.
Olympics are a complete different thing. Oh my god, hold on. Reset. Olympics are a complete different thing. The NCAA, my guy, and when they take hormone, they under the law of how much they can take, and it has to be for so long of a time, and it's under a doctor's support, not just juicing. Wow. And Olympics have different rules than NCAA. And why? Because they are under government rule because of public universities. Wow. Tell me you don't know anything, and females are competing in men's sports now, for example, baseball and football and hockey, so many sports.
For everyone out there, wait a minute. Punctuation is key. So if you're going to, I remember that last one you said because I was looking through it, trying to like, where the hell, what are they saying? And then I realized like, oh, there's supposed to be a period right there. I'm like, okay. So if you're gonna say something, like I don't normally read them. There's actually you just read through all of them. I looked at them all, and like I said, I was gonna interject. But I'm like, you know what? I think this isn't even worth it. And this argument was between 2 other people.
I know.
It's pointless to get involved in this one.
I'm just going to leave this here.
I'll just give you the topic you two discuss.
The one about, we talked about Disney and such. Mm-hmm. There's a documentary about Space Mountain and of improvements made to it even over
that one
years.
I commented to.
Upgraded to Gorilla Glue.
Pause it so it doesn't get all the feedback in the...
Gotcha, sorry. With this weather, should be the next Karen. Toxic relationships being normalized this month. With this, Heather, should be the next Karen. Somebody said yes. Not Munchausen syndrome, but Stockholm syndrome is being brainwashed.
Yeah.
I'm going to like that one. I didn't know that, did I? Yeah, that's the person's name. That's cool. 0 comments, 0 comments, 0 comments, 0 comments. 1 comment. Oh, hold on. Well, Will did what any guy would do. Every guy would take a slap for their buddy if they had real friends. Mordock, shout out. That was good. I'm gonna Mordock on TikTok. That's good. I like that.
So,
hold on.
Yeah,
let's have some fun with this.
Okay.
And now everything's buffed. Oh, that was about Elden Ring.
Anyway, going back.
Oh, this one has 2 comments. We have to believe in Jesus. Bro, he walked free. What the fuck was wrong with the world? It's a special time. What was that one about?
Jesse Smollett walks free after...
Oh, yeah.
The what one?
The Jesse Smollett.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Smollett, how do you pronounce his last name? All right. Yeah. That's fun. We're going to do
But that one I was talking about...
They literally got going at it.
I was like... the first comment that went in there, I'm like, maybe I should... And then I had the training this morning, and then we go way up in the Adirondacks, so there was no service. So by the time I got back down from the training, my phone just blew up, and I look at it, I'm like,
what training?
It was a drill for swift water rescue.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time we got out of the water and back down in the valley, I got service. I got service again, and we were just north of Sacandaga.
Oh, okay.
And my phone started to blow up, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this? So, and some of them were TikTok, so I was like, all right, I opened it up, and I was like, oh boy, I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm just gonna slowly back out of that one. Like, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh shit! I'm losing my shit.
Yeah.
So what's up, buddy?
The water was cold this morning.
I bet it was.
40 degrees.
Pussy.
40 degrees.
Heck of my day. I'd swear like 20 degrees.
You should have went and got your tech certification, man. It's a blast. It's such a blast.
Yeah, shut up.
Such as
I mean, thankfully it's yearly. They do the training, so I can always.
they do more than that. I think they have another one coming up
Yeah, maybe I'll grab it. I have weekends free now, so.
in May.
Yeah.
You'd have to check. I know they're doing.
May the 14th.
They're shutting down Oriskany's, the complex and the airfield where the Swiftwater Rescue Tech complex is for a weekend in September, the second week of September, I think, just for our team, Montgomery County team, to go down and do I think a 16-hour refresher course. But they're basically giving us a list of things to choose from. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know where that is.
They're giving us a list of things to choose from, and one of them is night ops. So in the dark, in the Swiftwaters.
Oh, I hope we get night ops.
Like, fuck, yes! I want to do that. Then
finally get our own pair of night vision goggles.
They're starting to incorporate more rope, high-angle rescue into waters, like rapids and stuff. So I was like, yeah, absolutely.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Yeah, but they offer that course up there a few times a year anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's like 3-4 times from like, I think they open the facility in March, the end of March, early April, something like that. And they run it through till like the first week of November.
Did you already break your screen?
No, it's a screen cover.
Oh, okay.
Got a crack in it, yeah, but it's a screen cover.
Like cracking your ass.
No, the screen. Beep. No, but yeah, get training. Get up in the cold water. Wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning with the rest of us. Real boys.
You really want it? Really? 5 days a week I wake up at 4 a.m.
To go in your truck that has air conditioning and a heater and breaker.
Oh, I'm a breaker, all right. I'm not that lucky. Especially when I get the pretty girls and the deliveries. Like, oh my God.
The first thing I thought of was like the cliche half overweight woman with like the do-rag in her hair and a cigarette with like the over makeup eyeshadow.
Hey, Bill!
Yeah.
That sex machine we done ordered got here.
At a diner.
I'm gonna go shower and lube up. The fuck? Can you help me set it up? No!
I got dingleberries.
No! Speaking of which, last week I had my first, I want to say libtard delivery.
Oh, jeez. Well, be careful. Is it lefty or is it?
I don't know.
Liberals,
you tell me.
Liberals are all right. It's the crazy left.
I will tell you exactly what happened.
Which I got an interesting thing with that, but go ahead.
So I go to this delivery, and this person obviously, I want to say, is a little overly a little over dramatic. I want to say.
Go ahead.
So I get there, I knock on the door.
You're so late.
I go to the back door, and I start to walk away. The door opens up, and there's this person, this homeowner, with
a homeowner
gloves.
You do. All right, I know where this
sweats,
is
going. A mask, and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, but there was a possible COVID exposure, and I don't want to come into contact with you, or break social distancing. I'm like, oh, okay. So I pull out the paperwork. I go, well, I have a delivery for you. Oh, so I start. It goes to close the door. I go, well, I need a signature. Oh, okay, well, I'll be right back. I can't get too close.
Put it in the clean room. Put it in the clean room.
Oh, no. It gets better. So,
okay, this ought to be good then.
They walk inside, like, the person goes, all right, give me a moment. I'll figure something out. I'm like, all right.
I'll figure something out.
This person closes the door. I go up onto the porch. I'm like, screw this. I pick up an item on the porch. I put my paperwork underneath it, and I walk away.
No,
I come back.
They're burning the item you touched.
I go to my truck. I get my stuff off. I bring it to where, and the homeowner opens the door and goes, "Oh, you can just put it over there." I'm like, "Yeah, I put those papers under the object on your porch. Could you please just sign those? I'll tear them in half and give you a copy." "Oh, sure, not a problem." "Oh, by the way, here," and kind of does thing. So I just walk up real quick, grab it. I didn't want to hand that to you directly, but there's a tip in there. I put the money in the envelope, put the envelope so you wouldn't touch you wouldn't be exposed.
I already got it. I don't care.
So I look at it, I go, "You put the money in here?" "Yeah, I just put it in the envelope so you wouldn't be exposed to it."
Did you touch the envelope?
No, you didn't get it then. They took the money, put it in an envelope, and gave me the envelope so I wouldn't be exposed to the possible COVID contamination on
That's
the money.
what I mean. It's like, did you touch the envelope?
They touched the money first. I still have to take the money out.
Either way, they touched the envelope too.
I go, all right.
Either way, the whole point is completely moot. Just
I felt bad.
Here, the money's in there. You should be safe.
I wanted to go, "You idiot," but you know what? I didn't because I felt
Good
bad.
for you. You're coming right along. Then
You're
learning to like my inner monologue is all I need.
I felt bad because I'm like, all right, maybe this person had a bad experience with COVID. Maybe they genuinely did, and now they're afraid that they don't want to put in
Possibly, or maybe someone directly around them had a rough experience with it.
Yeah,
you never know.
But the whole point, the whole basis of I put the money in the envelope so you wouldn't be exposed to it. Well, what do I leave the money envelope for 14 days?
My money's in quarantine for a week.
And the whole time I'm like, "You idiot." But I didn't say it, and I'm like, I feel bad for saying it now because Lord knows this person might just scroll the YouTube one day. "You know what? I think I know that guy."
What a fucking idiot.
Oh. I mean, I'm not trying to mock anybody's personal habits and their policies or their protocols.
I don't think that's not a COVID thing. That's just a common sense thing.
I genuinely, in my head, I was like, wow, that's not the greatest thing. I even got back into my truck. I called up a trucker friend of mine. I go, "Look, this is what just happened." He goes,
"Am I an asshole? Just hear me out."
He goes, "So what the fuck are you supposed to do? Leave the money in the envelope for 2 weeks? Hell no. Go buy, you know what you do? Hand it to a person at a cashier, say, there's $40 in this envelope. Can you give it back to me in singles?"
Yeah, but that makes you look, what is this, anthrax?
What is this, money laundering? Yeah. Sad but true, I didn't even go the anthrax. I went with the money laundering. I gotta check these 20s. Okay. I can't. You don't want the 20s? I don't want to touch the 20s. Why don't you want to touch the 20s? I don't want to touch the 20s.
I don't know. That's not a libtard thing, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That's just some poor soul that's bought into so much fear mongering now. Or someone that stopped watching the news like a year and a half ago when Fauci was still in control of everything, every move you make. And then the last they knew, it's like, we got to sanitize everything. It had everyone going crazy, including me. Not crazy every day, but I'd get back from work on Thursdays, my first day off, my weekend, back at the other job. And I would go through and disinfect like handles, like high contact places. Go through once a week, disinfect that crap.
I think in the entirety of this pandemic, my situation, I maybe wiped a door handle once.
Which is surprising because your wife works in like...
Oh, she did a few times. I didn't.
Oh.
I'm getting in and out of trucks, shaking hands with people. I mean, I even have one of those. Hold on. All right. Thanks very much, man. Have a nice day. Okay, cool. As long as you can breathe now. You mind signing this before I leave?
What, now?
Lights up a cigarette just to be able to breathe normal. I've shaken hands with those figure people.
Yeah, but that's what? How long you been there? A year now?
Going on 2 years now.
2 years, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This fall's 2 years.
Has it been 2 years already?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it has. Huh.
Nick, Nickelodeon.
That was like 20-some years ago, that jingle.
It's still going. I don't watch Nickelodeon, but I see a lot of people like...
Then how the hell do you know?
Well...
You're full of shit.
No. Every now and again when we go to the in-laws, they'll throw on like SpongeBob or Paw Patrol or something like that. And if you leave it on the channel long enough, because of course the little man will watch...
Regular TV still? Wow.
The little man... No, it's satellite TV. The little man will be watching it for 15 minutes and all of a sudden want to run and play and do something else. And of course nobody's in the living room and the TV's still playing. So after about 2 hours you hear, Nick, no, it's still a thing.
I better sit down and take over.
No, I what I usually do, just... I hope the in-laws never watch this channel. What I'll do is I'll go find a movie I know my mother-in-law won't like. Oh. Aliens 1. Cool. Get up and walk out of the living room while it's playing. Who put this shit on the TV? Oh, sorry. My bad.
Such a loving family.
Yeah.
Elon Musk buys Twitter for $44 billion.
I did hear that number. That is intense.
That would bring each share worth up to $54.20. And probably even bigger than that, though, he takes it private. So there's no longer any shareholders.
Yep.
He is 100% owner.
Yep.
And he specifically did that, I guess, just to free speech.
Yeah.
He says the left has gone completely insane. I actually think he tweeted that sometime.
Oh, yeah.
This last week.
I saw that.
The left has gone completely fucking insane. Which we've said how many times and how many other people have said that. The left has gone so far left that...
They're right.
Eventually they're just going to come right behind and be like, what the hell?
The right did this to us. It's their fault. What the fuck?
You're further right than we are, technically, right now.
You are about as far... If I keep going right, eventually I will come to your level.
Yeah. But they, there was it was, I don't want to say a graph. It was more of a meme, but showing like a line chart kind of thing. Or whatever. And they said a centrist, like, I think Elon Musk actually put it up or someone. And it says me, like a centrist, 1998 or something like that. And then it had the left and the right. And then it said me, centrist, like 2008. And it was the left is a little further out. And then the right was still there. Neither of them really moved. And then it said me, centrist, 2022. And the left was way the fuck out. And they were still in the same spots. But because the left has moved so far in the other direction, now centrists, liberals, liberals, centrists, and right all seem far right to the left. So that's why every time the left screams something, this is a free speech, they're like fascists and they're racist and everything, it's because they're so fucking far way out somewhere off the charts. They look back and you look, it's like, where's the center? Well, they're so far out there. It's like everyone that was liberal, classic libertarians, they're all right now. Here's the fuckery. The left is now calling Obama right. Now, let's go back to 2008.
Wait, stop. Hold on. Like, he was right for what he did, or he's right?
No, as in right wing.
Okay.
They're calling him right wing. He ran on universal health care in 2007.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he also he was not for gay marriage during his first run for his presidential
I remember that shit.
Campaign.
That was something people hit on a lot.
He wasn't for gay marriage. I think because of that, I think there's a few other things. Now the left views Obama as right. It's funny, but George Bush, the left likes George Bush, which if you go back before Obama, the left hated George Bush. I mean, he was big government. He was big, not pharma, big oil, big tycoon in the oil industry. And there's all the bullshit with Iraq right after Afghanistan and everything. We were over there. So, well, they're trying to get the oil, and that was a big thing they were spinning. But now the left likes Bush, and they say Obama is right. Spotify actually canceled Obama and Michelle, or Barack and Michelle's podcast. I can't make this shit up. so like now there's just like what's that one meme of the one guy with the cork board? He's got all the strings connecting. Like it's like trying to organize the left's thought process and who's right and who's left is like that cork board. I'm like, you're looking at it like, where the fuck are you going with this? Like, you got people on the right that you now favor, people that were probably the most left, like liberal president we've ever had, Obama, is now considered right to the left. Like, I don't get it. It's fucking, I don't understand like their thought process. But yeah, so Elon Musk tweets that thing. It's like the left has gone completely insane. I think a majority of the nation collectively has gone, yeah. And it's really interesting, like I said, because centrists, Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, we're all looking at each other like, okay, let's put aside our minor differences in politics, because there's this huge thing right now that the left, they're just fucking out of control. And it's like, let's put these small differences aside. We got to focus on this bullshit right here. So again, going back to last year when Biden said, I'm going to bring the nation back together. It's like, well, he is. Interesting. He's doing it. Everyone fucking hates Biden right now. It's not even Biden. Like I said, I think more people, they feel sorry for Biden. At least people that are even reasonably educated, they feel sorry for Biden and just can't stand the administration behind him.
Yeah.
Like even people in Australia, around the world, not even just Australia, just around the world, is like, this is coming from a Canadian. This is coming from an Aussie. It's like, I hope Trump gets back in office. People that have nothing to fucking do with our elections, like anything. They want Trump back in. I'm like, again, I don't know if Trump's the answer. Part of me doesn't really think so. I think DeSantis might be. But either way, we got people that aren't even in our country going like, well, why is he still there?
They poke our head in. They poke their head in our country. Oh, he's still here? Yeah, I'm not coming. I'll see you guys. I'll be back next week.
Yeah, so the hope is that Elon getting Twitter, going back to the Twitter thing, is that he's going to make the platform so it's not heavily favored in one direction, like censored. If you have a idea that the left, Democrats, or what have you doesn't like, they're not just going to shut you right down.
We'll pause. Like there's one
cycle through. So
there's one skit where he's in a hospital and the doctor comes in. So I got news for you, and it's going on, but I know I shouldn't take this case personal. Okay, but I've fallen in love with you. Oh, sweet. But we shouldn't be together. Okay,
all right. That's the way to approach life, dude. All right. Like, I hate you. That's all right. Actually, that was Rob Van Dam's gimmick back in the early 2000s WWF when he was there. He's like, cool. All right.
Sorry.
That was his whole shtick.
There's one part in that doctor skit where she goes, we just can't fight these feelings. I just got to do something. We should have sex. Okay. Stands up. But we can't. It's against doctor code. Okay. Gets back in bed. You should probably get some sleep. That's funny. You gotta check it out.
Anyway, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. You're gonna edit it all out, right? Give her the privacy she asked for.
No, I'm gonna keep it right in. Put it right on TikTok so it gets thousands of views, just like the rest of them. Yeah,
coming soon, folks. Coming soon. Speaking of TikTok, real quick. Coming soon, folks. Drop as many comments as you can. We're gonna do a podcast one of these days about the comments. We're going to do a commentary podcast. Comments podcast.
We got to do one that's like when people get in arguments, like the beginning of this one. Like, that's just funny to me. Because I didn't read through, and I saw a couple of them, and I just ghosted it. The rest of it was like, I'm not even worth it.
No, but that's good, though. Elon Musk buying Twitter. It'd be nice. Of course, you're going to see things you don't want to see.
Boy,
But
let me tell you.
what have you seen?
It's not what I've seen. It's what's come out just in the last week of him agreeing to buy Twitter. Twitter agreeing to sell.
Yeah.
So the announcement came out this past Monday. All right.
So it would be the 24th?
Is it the 24th?
23rd or 24th, I believe is what it was. Hold on, I'll check.
All right. So the announcement came out.
Speaking of Twitter, I just got a Twitter notification.
The announcement came out on Monday that he was buying. Overnight.
The 25th. It was the 25th.
All right. 25th into the 26th. Overnight, there was a sudden influx in subscribers to central and more right-leaning, or considered right, or the way Twitter considered right-leaning figureheads, not just politicians. Joe Rogan, Tim Pool,
Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro,
Tucker
Carlson.
a whole bunch of other ones. Like 10% of what they had. Like, I think Joe Rogan over a night had like 67,000 new subscribers or whatever.
Yeah.
Followers.
Followers.
Tim Pool had like 10,000 new followers. Tucker Carlson had like 83 or something like that, 1,000 overnight. The thing going along with that, a bunch of left-leaning, like left-wing figureheads suddenly had a drop-off. Like 10,000 here, 12,000 there, 20,000 there. At the exact same time. If you look at the like the average over like day-to-day average before Monday to Tuesday, it was like they'd get 1,000 new ones here, maybe 1,500 there, maybe 8. You know, it was pretty consistent. And then suddenly this huge influx for only rightly, and then left wing. All of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of drop-offs. Well, the first thing that comes out is like, well, that's because the Twitter was shadow banning a bunch of right-wing constituents. I mean, that seems to be pretty obvious. Maybe not, but that seems to be like what was happening. They were shadow banning like a bunch of people that they considered to be right-wing. There was also a bunch of reinstatements, people that were banned over the last time. Then suddenly there was one. I can't remember her name. She simply posted reports from, I think it was January 6th, about people not breaking in. Things that, it wasn't her opinion or anything. It was just simply something that she saw, and she retweeted it. Yeah. And then she got banned for it. And it was a year ago. And then suddenly her account was just reinstated this past week. And she's like, well, apparently I've been reinstated. Don't know why.
Good. Like I said, yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be people seeing things on Twitter that they don't want to see, but, you know, everybody wants to bitch about freedom of speech until you say something that offends them.
Well, what a lot of people were saying, now I wrote these notes down earlier in the week, but then as the week went on, more stuff came out. But
yeah.
As a lot of people earlier in the week were saying maybe the reason why there was suddenly, one, the shadow ban for the right, but the left, like, really, why were all these places losing a whole bunch of subscribers? That part didn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like, well, possibly maybe there was a whole bunch of bots and fake accounts that Twitter was bolstering these accounts with, make them look better. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? There was a study done, I think it was on Facebook. This is probably like 2010 or 12. They had a picture, identical picture, or two pictures, same picture. One they had with like 5 likes on it, and another one they had with like 1,500 likes on it. And they showed it to these two different groups. The one that had a whole bunch of more likes had a way more engagement. The one with less likes didn't have much engagement at all, because it was you go with the crowd, you go with the flow. It's like, oh, a lot of people like this.
I must like it reviews.
Yeah.
You go on Amazon and buy a flashlight. You're looking for a flashlight, and you see the one that has 5 reviews, 5 stars,
right? Or
the one that has 5,000 reviews and 4 stars,
right?
It's like
same idea. Like the bigger crowd's like, oh, everyone likes this. It must be really nuts. So I gotta like it too. Well, if you go back with this whole left wing thing, and suddenly there's these Twitter followers or these Twitter handles that were considered left leaning, and then they have this huge drop off in followers. They're like, well, maybe there was a bunch of these fake accounts that they were throwing in here. So that was just like a maybe. And what people were saying also along with that is because of the shadow ban or apparent shadow ban maybe being lifted, and then these bot things suddenly like dropping off, people were considering it or comparing it to the ExxonMobil thing when we have new owners coming in, so burn all the shit that's illegal, all the documents, like get rid of it before he comes in and sees it. So that's a little maybe extreme, but people were comparing it to that.
Exxon, I remember that.
The left is up in arms, saying this whole thing's a waste of time or a waste of money that could be spent for solving world hunger, billions that cheat on their taxes, paid Elon. People that were cheating on their taxes, all these billionaires. Elon's a fascist for purchasing it. But Mark Zuckerberg buys thousands of acres in Hawaii and also buys Instagram, and he's not fascist. Bill Gates buys thousands of acres of farmland. Bezos buys the Washington Post, which is a news outlet. So, of course, they're not going to put anything bad on him. But Elon's the one that's evil.
I don't know. It's fucked up. It really is. Good for you, Elon. I've always said I wanted to have his love child.
So, Elon's cool. Yeah.
He's actually, when you talk, like if you...
Oh, yeah, when I talk to him, because we run into each other
as a person,
every couple...
you take the money away, you take all that stuff.
No, he seems like, he's eccentric, or he's Asperger's syndrome, according to him, according to Saturday Night Live with him. Which makes sense.
Oh, yeah. He seems like when you see articles, or when you read articles or see interviews with him engaging with the not planned people, he's not like the kind of guy where it's like, no, fuck you, you're not part of this interview. I remember him doing it was like oh god, what are those things where like the gurus go to and like 1,000 people show up to like get the advice of this rich guy and how to become rich and stuff like that.
Oh, like a TED Talk?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
There was one, I think, he did a TED Talk, and
I don't know if it was TED Talk, but I mean, that's kind of like, you get a bunch of people that...
How do you want to be successful?
Well, that's like a motivational thing, but...
Yeah, that's it. Like a motivational speaker. He went to this assembly, this place, that he was talking to like, I don't know if it was like a tech convention or something like that. And this one dude's like, hey, I've got this. I'm smart. I could do this. I want to apply for CEO of your company. He goes, well, we don't need a CEO. He goes, well, I'd like upper management. He goes, well, what do you bring to the table? Mm-hmm. He goes, not trying to down. He's like, because people were laughing. He goes, no, don't laugh at him. If this guy's got something worth it, I want to hear what he has to say. The impression that
sounds like something Gary Vaynerchuk would say.
The impression that I got from the impression that I get now
it pops into my head too.
The vibe I got from what he was saying to the guy in the audience was, look, I'm not saying you aren't worth what you're asking for. Just right now, I'm not looking for what you're offering.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you won't be the next me. Keep yourself out there. Keep putting yourself out there. Go for it, dude. He's like, I want to see you succeed. I don't want to be... The vibe I was getting from what he was saying was he doesn't want to be the only one doing what he's doing. He wants to see other rich entrepreneurs or people started from the ground up and then put in their own freaking rocket in space, coming up with their own cell phone, developing their own vehicles.
You know what's cool about Elon is... Tim Pool tweeted out, he goes, Elon, you're like this philanthropist, it's a billionaire or whatever. How come you're not working on an Iron Man suit? And then Elon tweeted back, building space rockets.
Yeah.
I'm like, and Tim Pool was like, fair enough.
I would love to meet him, honestly. I'd love to meet Elon Musk. Just to hear what a guy with that lifestyle, what do you do?
Not even like meet him. I'd like to follow him around for 24 hours.
Not even.
Like, I guess he only sleeps like 4 hours a day.
You know what I want to do? I don't want to follow him around for 20 hours. I want to chill with him on a Saturday. I want to
He's not working. Guarantee you.
Oh, probably.
I mean,
What's your off day? Oh, you're working? Oh, okay.
Well, if he loves what he's doing, he probably doesn't have an off day.
He probably never works a day in his life because he loves what he's doing.
That's the key right there. That's the
little motivation for
That's the target. Going back anyway.
I'm on
to
vacation.
the
Every
I
single
don't want to say
day.
conspiracies, but like the thoughts that a lot of these people are saying. It's like, well, shadow bans, maybe bot accounts. This was April 28th
So 3 days ago.
from The Verge, which is a very progressive news source, very left-leaning. Twitter miscounted its daily users for 3 straight years, comes out. It says Twitter's overstated the numbers of daily users on its service for 3 straight years, overcounting by up to 1.9 million users each quarter. The error was due to Twitter inadvertently counting multiple accounts as active when they were all tied to a single user, even if they weren't all in use. These incorrect usage numbers were given in quarter 1 of 2019 through quarter 4 of 2021. Now, Ian from Tim Pool's podcast, he was an admin. He helped develop, and he was an admin on Minds, the social media platform Minds. He said, he goes, there's no way that Twitter, on Minds they could tell, there's no way that Twitter had no idea that these multiple accounts of one person were not owned by one person.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. What was also brought up too, which I was like, ooh, spicy, was
Muy caliente.
if Twitter knew that they were overcounting these, the amount of people using their platform, however many times they did it, that falsifies or gives a false number to investors, which is fucking a big no-no. One might say illegal.
I mean,
but then what would happen is if they did that, they would raise the value of their stock. So some people are like,
look over here. Look over here.
well, no.
That's what it is.
If they did that, then people are like, well, then Elon could come in and rework his negotiation and drop the price. But I think what Elon did is he set a specific price he was going to buy the company for when it was still public. If the company said no, and the company, the earnings report came out this last week for this last quarter for Twitter. If the company said no and their earnings report came out and it was lower than what Elon wanted to buy the company for, the owners could potentially be, I think, sued or held responsible, for lack of a better term. I'm not practicing law or anything, but I don't know litigation when it comes to businesses of that caliber. They could hold the shareholders could hold the owners responsible for costing them money, because if he's not going to sell to a higher price and then the shareholders come out and said we're worth a lower price and you're not selling, so that would hold them responsible. And if they didn't sell, I guess with the deal they had, they would own, or if, I think it still has to go 100% through. It's pretty much on paper and ready to go. But I guess if Twitter says no and they vote no, they owe Elon Musk $1 billion. So like Elon perfectly orchestrated this thing. So like, I'm either going to get Twitter or I'm going to get an extra $1 billion to my fortune already. So it's a win-win situation for me.
Yeah.
But let's say he doesn't get Twitter and somehow they weaseled their way out of this $1 billion deal. Somehow, even though I don't think they can. What's come out of this, just in the fact that it's like, hey, Twitter's shadow banning people for sure. And there's a whole bunch, it's come out now and saying they have a bunch of inflated numbers in their user base, all for the left. So that raises a lot of questions.
Let me ask you something, because now that you mention this, now that we're talking about it in this way, in this regard, do you think Elon, because I remember when it first started, it was rumors, oh, Elon might buy Twitter. Elon might buy Twitter. Do you think he genuinely intended to buy it? Or,
yes.
Hold on. With the intent of just owning it and making it a free speech, whatever. Or do you think he intended to buy it to take, I guess, the proverbial mask off the lie? Because here's this guy who could buy Twitter. The guy, he's probably the only person in the world that can afford to buy Amazon, okay? Let's just say that. I'm not saying he probably could. I don't even think Bill Gates could afford Amazon. I think Elon,
Amazon, what? Jeff Bezos is worth like, was it 160 or 200 billion? And Elon's worth like 240 billion.
Yeah.
Like that.
So he's the only one remotely close enough to be able to consider buying.
Can you imagine that if Elon purchased Amazon?
But
Elon would be worth like almost $500 billion.
So
that's disgusting. That's like GTA modded money. We only had $8 billion.
I know.
Oh, fuck.
I missed that money. Did he mean to buy Twitter under the pretense of truly making it an available platform, a freedom of speech platform, or did he intend to buy it
just shake it up?
To shake it up and make, hey, look, here's what's going on, people. There is a lot of shadow banning. There is a lot of left-leaning media silencing, or right-wing media, whatever. There's a lot of censoring going on. There's a lot of stuff being buried that you're not seeing. And I'm going to buy it just to show you guys what's really happening. Even if it falls through and I can't buy it, at least now I've exposed the truth.
I think he intended to buy it for his own platform for free speech. I think because he's come out and said like that's what he wants to do.
Well, of course, that's what he's going to say.
I legitimately think that's why he wanted to do it, because he's like this, like they're censoring. There's so much censorship, not even just in Twitter, just around the whole whatever.
Yeah,
I think he was going to buy it for that reason. But I also think in doing that, he's like, I'm probably going to end up finding some shit here. And if that comes through, so be it. If not, either way, I'll be able to be, listen, this platform is for everyone. It's not this left-leaning echo chamber where there's like pockets of basically resistance, quote unquote, that, lives at TikTok and whatever.
Well, no, now that you say it like that, that does make sense. He probably entered into the whole thing in the beginning to buy it for the freedom of speech. And as he's going along, wait a minute, I could probably pull this off too. And it would definitely open some eyes. So I still want it. But now I hope people realize what I'm genuinely trying to accomplish with the freedom of speech.
See the tweet he put out a few days ago? He's like, next time I'm going to buy Facebook and delete it, go outside or something. Like, get off your phone, go outside. I'm like, this is why this guy's awesome. It's like
Musk for president. Musk for president.
Oh no, he's way too busy. Way too fucking busy. Are you kidding me? He's trying to put us in space.
So basically,
what's funny? Go ahead.
Basically, he would be the parent who says, "You're fine. There's no bruises. There's no blood. Keep playing. I got work to do." Maybe that's what this country needs.
Take Elon Musk. All right, take Elon Musk. Not like get rid of the personality and tweets in person. Just take the structure of what he's doing. All right. He's building a space program, trying to put us on Mars. He's building a satellite system to get rid of our land internet system. And it's going to basically be a net of satellites around the globe. So you have internet anywhere.
Yeah.
He's got this, he's revolutionizing Tesla, this electric car and alternative fuel source thing. He's either the most well-rounded, quote, good billionaire or tycoon we've ever seen, or he's a Bond villain. That's because if you take everything away and just look, it's like, wait, he's trying to put a security blanket around the United States, the globe. He's trying to terraform Mars.
Wait a minute. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
007 is Moonraker.
Yeah. And but then everyone's like,
I swear to God, if I see any 8-foot tall people with fucking metal teeth, I will let them bite my dick off.
Elon's everyone loves Elon, or further, he's the Antichrist. He means good intentions. Everyone loves him.
The road to hell is paved in good intentions.
Well, that's what the Antichrist says. Everyone loves him, but it ends up being the devil.
Better the devils we know than the ones we don't.
Yeah, that's true. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I
can't wait to see these comments. Oh, why don't you guys take your mouth off Elon's dick and read the news? It's bad that he bought it. Oh, okay.
I get wah. It's another 20-year-old joke.
Oh God, 20-year-old joke, my ass. It is a 20-year-old joke, but
about 18 or 20.
So a friend of mine, we were talking on the phone a few days, this past week. Oh my God, have you heard this? I'm gonna send a link to the group chat. You guys gotta check it out. So I'm like, all right, and it's like, what?
Yeah, Howard Stern, 2004.
I go, wait, I watched it, of course. I'm like, oh, I remember that sound. I come back, I'm like, you guys realize that was like the Howard Stern show?
You know, it's funny.
Well, it ended up steering the whole conversation into what a guy likes for a blowjob. Like, do guys really like all that noise and all that spit where it's just like, bleh? I'm like,
well, it's entertaining. It would make you laugh. At least maybe it's just me. Like, if I heard that sound, it'd definitely make me chuckle.
The minute this person was talking about it, I was like, oh, I remember that key mark and shit.
It was always funny when like Fred would play the sound like effect during whatever conversation they're having. So the sound guy. So then there's suddenly be like wah, like once in the background.
Oh shit!
I don't even remember how we got on that, but yeah. So Elon could be like a superhero or super
20-year-old joke.
Yeah. So now naturally, because all this, the left-leaning user base for Twitter is just fucking going crazy. They had hashtag leaving Twitter was trending. Like it was top 10 or 20. But like that's trending. Leaving Twitter. Now, granted, this is way easier than the next thing I'm going to say, but I heard that. I'm like, oh, there's a hashtag leaving Twitter. It's like trending right now in the United States from all left-leaning people, of course. Which is probably the same group of people that said they were moving to like Canada and Mexico in 2016 when Trump won the presidency, and yet here we are, still next door.
And how much you want to bet they're still on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe the right's getting away with this.
God. I think it's so sweet. It's not even a right thing, which is so sweet. Like, Elon is not right-wing. At least classic right-wing. Yeah. Right now, we're all right-wing. Like, whether we want to be or not, in the eyes of the left, we're all crazy.
If you're not left, you're
racist, fascist, everything else. So it's like, hey, if you're like a liberal or conservative, Republican, whatever it is, we're all right-wing. We're all in the KKK. We're all fascists. Get used to it, at least for the next couple of years.
I'm not in the KKK.
Oh, you are?
I'm in the JJJ.
What's that?
It's a pre-KKK.
Jehovah?
No, it's a pre-KKK organization.
Oh, my God.
I'm looking at
The employees at Twitter.
Fuck you.
Also, the employees at Twitter were also freaking out after it was announced that he was taking over. I guess they put a free, like, Twitter, like this, the upper management put a freeze on the code for Twitter for fear that there was going to be like a rogue Twitter employee that went in and just like fried the whole thing to bring it down.
Oh, God.
Which tells you who's working there and who's in control of the speech there.
Yep.
Like, if they're afraid that someone who's coming in and be like, I think everyone should be able to express their opinion in there with reason, no doxing, no threats of violence or anything like that.
Yeah, of
makes
course.
sense. Common sense shit. That has nothing to do with any like platform, you know, or whatever side you're subscribing to. But I think if you free speech is a really it's a shaky thing. But if you believe in free speech, you have to allow people that are Nazis. You gotta allow the KKK. You gotta allow white white nationalists. You have to allow these groups to be on there and be like, "This is what we believe."
Okay, 100% agree. Okay, but the only reason I'm interrupting you is because for the viewers at home, the ones that do watch this, we're not saying we support that shit.
No, there's nothing.
What we are saying is, if a person says, and this is not me saying this, but let's just say a person goes on and says, you know, I am 100% supportive of Black Lives Matter. I do not support the Blue Lives Matter movement. No one can get mad at that. No. Because that's just their opinion.
Right.
If they go on and say, I'm a Black Lives Matter patriot and I intend on killing every cop that supports, or every person that says, I'm a Blue Lives Matter fan or supporter, that's different. That's not freedom of speech. That's the shit that should not be allowed. That is now a direct threat.
Yeah, but that's like common sense stuff.
But people aren't going to see it like that. The minute you say
no, there's a small group of people that were. This is echo chamber bullshit. This goes into what I was going to say. This echo chamber thing. If you have to let these crazy extremist groups on there to speak whatever opinion they have.
Yes.
Because the only way you get through a bad idea is better ideas. As when you get through an opinion that's just fucking backwards, you'd be like, all right, well, that's interesting. Well, this is how reality actually works, though. And there's, I guarantee you, a larger group of people that are, we'll say, level-headed and believe in equality, racial equality, and everything else. And if you let all these groups talk, those voices are going to raise above all the other ones and just kind of flood them out anyway. But you can't just stop them. You can't silence that group, because what that does is force that group into a corner. And what happens there is that corner just talks amongst themselves and they create an echo chamber. And that's what I was talking about before. You get echo chambers going, then all you do is take the ideas of that group bouncing amongst themselves, and it just grows and festers and becomes this bigger monster. This is why we have the left right now, is because that's what happens when you take a group of people with this crazy idea and let them fester together. They only talk to each other. They don't argue with other ideas. And when they do get out there and they get presented other ideas, Ben Shapiro to be an example, where all he does is spit out facts, like things that you can look up, research yourself, but then when he argues with, this is all over TikTok and YouTube and everything else, like Ben Shapiro destroys, that's what happens. You get someone that's like, well, this is my thought and opinion and idea. It's like, well, that's fine, but the facts are right here, and this is what it is. Most of the time, they don't want to hear that. And then they end up shouting or just getting pissed off and making fun of his wife or some shit like that.
Yeah, but that's just it, though. Honestly, stop and think about the way a lot of things have started over the last 2 years. One group, one small voice that was able to say, well, it's got to be racist because it's not what I think. And people got to the fear-mongering like you were referencing earlier.
I don't think that was one small voice.
But what I'm saying...
I think that was media planting seeds.
Exactly, and that's all it's gonna take.
That's not a small voice.
But that's all it'll take. That's all it'll take. The media, the right or the left or the center or the up or the down, whatever you want to call it. You get enough of these outlets or enough of these influencers saying, "Well, this," and eventually you get enough people who will buy into it, believe into it, and then it'll just snowball. I'm looking at it in a snowball effect.
That's what happened with the echo chamber, snowball. It's the same thing. So you get like
the way you explained echo chamber, it's almost contained in a certain unit until it blows up. With the snowball effect, it may start in a small area, but it's going to roll out of that area into other things.
Okay, well, if going with the snowball, or how you're describing the snowball thing, this Black Lives Matter and everything comes up, and Antifa and all that stuff, and you watch the news. Are you like, did you buy into it at all?
No, but I'm only one
because
person.
You already had. Well, but a lot of people didn't, and that's what they pushed on the news to everybody. But there was a majority of the United States did not buy into it. Whether it's like, oh yeah, Antifa is good, they're gonna help the United States. Clearly, they're fucking not. But there was a small group of people that did believe it. Who were those group of people? They were the extreme left. It was this, like I said, it was this echo chamber of these people that they wouldn't discuss things outside. And I'm not saying only the left does this. This goes on all sorts of different extreme groups. They only talk amongst themselves. They don't have outside ideas and outside conversations coming in to converse with people that have differing opinions, to maybe have a conversation, a civilized conversation with somebody else who thinks something completely different than them, and maybe walk away from that conversation with one thing. They're like, maybe maybe I'm not right there. And they don't even have to admit it to the other person, but they just ponder it for a while. I do it on a fucking nearly daily basis. Even after podcasts we have, just listening to myself, I'm like, I should rethink that or like look back into it. Like, that's all you got to do. But these people don't. They talk basically to themselves, just with a different face. And that's like an echo chamber. And you just hear your own opinions being bounced back at you. And then it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm right. Or you're right. Whatever. We're right. And that's a dangerous thing. Because what happens? You get all this thing, defund the police. Why? Because all police are racist. I'm sorry. We work alongside cops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have yet to meet a racist cop, at least in this area. Are there racist cops? Of course there are. Just like racist truck drivers, just like racist school teachers, just like racist fucking... You name the profession, and I
just
almost guarantee there's a racist something out there.
And just so we're clear, the basis we're determining the word racist off of is not just centralized against one color.
No, it's not.
Black on white or white on black, black on Asian, Asian on black, Hispanic on Italian, Italian on French, Australian against Canadian. Racism doesn't have to be based on color.
And you know what's really, and this is going to be controversial, especially coming from me because I'm white. Racism is still a huge thing today, but not in the aspect that especially the media really was pushing it in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
The white community is the one that's really being come down on, and not even by other colors, by themselves. Because for this long time, right after George Floyd, it was really pushed with the CRT and with the whole police thing, that the sins of our father thing.
Yep.
Because whites had slaves 200 and plus years ago, all the whites now, well, you're to blame for it. You need to answer for the sins of your great, 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 great ancestors and so on. How?
But
what happened then has nothing to fucking do with me or anyone else. So...
And the worst part is when you stop and really do your research, really dig into history, slavery had been around long before.
Yeah, we said that before. I think it was way back in the critical race theory episode we had.
Yeah,
I was at work and that one person said slavery is uniquely American. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
Slavery was not a concept developed by Americans.
No.
Slavery was actually developed. I don't even know. I know I've read into it before. I just can't remember it right now.
I don't know. I know
but
it was
slavery
very
was
prevalent.
developed long before whites with the blacks.
It was very prevalent in Africa, northern and southern Africa.
I was going to say, whites owned whites, blacks owned blacks, Asians owned Asians.
Yeah, it was
fucking the French owned French.
All America did was bring it from there to here. That's it.
And the worst part is it was already going on here. God, for once, the whites can be blamed for stealing something. They stole the idea from somebody else. No, dead serious. You go down to Central America, up at the south part of North America. There was slavery going on with like the Aztecs, the Mayans in the Mexico area. There was slaves going on long before fucking Columbus even discovered America.
Yeah. So
he walked into slavery.
Now there's this weird white shame thing going on where you've seen before where the people walking along the streets and I think it was black people walking along the streets randomly asking white people or white kids in their 20s, what have you, to apologize for their ancestors having slaves. Like, actually get down on their knees and apologize, and they were fucking doing it. It's the weirdest shit.
No,
but
that's actually, you know what? That is weird. But you know what? The one that I've seen I haven't seen any of those videos. You know what videos I've seen that make me laugh?
No.
It's when the black person is like, "The fuck are you all talking about?" That's long ago. I was never asleep.
There are a lot of black people that are like, I watch the Conservative Twins all the time.
I love those guys.
They're fucking hilarious.
I love them.
But
you got me into them.
Yeah, they're hilarious. But boy, this is just like general common sense. A lot of the shit they're talking about, like, yeah, well, but just that point right there is them, and there's like, they call, Candace Owens.
Oh
like
yeah,
the white face, or she's a racist.
yeah.
She said this is coming. All right, this is going left. The left says that black people cannot be racist, but they call Candace Owens, whom is black, a racist.
I remember it was probably about a month ago. Oh no, oh, God, at this point almost 2 months ago. I watched a Stitch video. It starts out with a white guy talking about, how racism is a prevalent issue and needs to be addressed. And just because you're blind to it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It is happening, and people need to be made aware of it, and that's what he's going to try to use that platform for. And then it goes to a black guy who goes, yeah, but you're wrong. There's only racism. He goes on to describe how racism is only prevalent because it keeps being brought to the forefront. It keeps being played as a card. He goes as political. He takes a political take on it. How it's being used, and black people need to wisen up, and white people need to just let it go. That white guy that initially started the video stitched back and goes, well, let me educate you. And no. It was a white guy arguing with a black guy about how racism is real, trying to tell the black guy that he's being racist. People are being racist to him. He's just too, and he uses the word ignorant to realize. And I paused the video there. I'm like,
and that's not a unique scenario either. That's not a unique situation. There's a majority of the people that believe there's still systemic racism is white, liberal college students. Like that late teens, early 20s.
yeah.
Like that's where the majority of this thing is coming from. So that right there, you say it's mostly like those white young kids that are
funny.
like.
It made me laugh because like, if anything,
Which goes back to indoctrination.
well, if anything, because what I took from the video, I go, wow, you know what? I mean, I've read a lot of stuff about racism in America still, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think on this one, I'm gonna just, for the most part, I try to always do my homework and take the word of the fact, the science, the truth behind it all. Mm-hmm. But this time, I'm like, you know what? He's a black man. He knows more about black people than I do. I'm gonna believe him. I wasn't even gonna fact check him. I wasn't gonna try to research everything he said. You know what? He's black. If anybody knows about black people, it's gonna be a black person.
Yeah,
Someone listen
right.
to him. You know what? He's right. There's no racism. It's only race. There's only racism because it keeps being used as a platform. But all right, cool.
So
made me laugh.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh boy!
I'm getting more notifications.
Oh boy!
From the same people that we're talking on that.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh, I want to see. Here we go, folks. We're gonna hybrid this a little bit tonight.
All right. Yeah. So the left. I have the next one. I'll wait until I get into this next topic. But so the left basically is having a major temper tantrum and everything that's going on. And I'm not gonna lie. As someone just who likes to sit back and watch this game of chess play out, this is fantastic.
It is an epic game of chess going on right now. TikTok.
Hey, what are you on Twitter?
The trans swimmer.
All right. What do we got?
Not this one.
All right.
Not this one.
That's part 1, yeah. I don't know where it was. I just got a couple notifications that were back at it. Or someone was back at it. So, Walter, blah, blah, blah.
Walter.
We're talking about you right now.
And Eclipicat. Man.
I should tag him in the next... I should clip this and tag him in it.
I don't know. I think he was... I'm confused. I think he was actually defending us.
I have no fucking idea. Because, again, there's no punctuation. So, if you...
Okay.
If you have
no football and hockey rule because of public university ball. Okay, yeah. So there's been some new, and hockey, so many sports. Eclipicat to Walter and Noel.
What if they're both arguing, but they're both for us, and like what? They're just arguing. What if? Wait, remember how we were talking about there's bots arguing and like a lot of these forums?
How much more? There's bots.
2 fucking bots just arguing back and forth. That's what it is.
I find it funny that you still haven't provided any evidence. LMAO, you're like, oh, you're so wrong, though. I have no evidence and just have read a lot of media. Laugh out loud. I have the is trans girl that turned boy that swims in college.
What?
And there are many, and the same with the trans swimmers. She is not dominating TJE. Oh, wait. TJE, it's supposed to be she is not dominating the sport. As well, out of 3 races, she placed 1st, 8th, and 15th. And it has happened there, female that trans to men swim in college.
Testosterone's wearing off.
So, yeah, Walter Noel. The testosterone wore off. She's juiced. She's got to juice up more.
Yeah, that's all. Her cycle's not for another 6 weeks.
I got to figure this out. Oh, crap. I don't know who's arguing for who.
That's the worst part. Is like they're arguing like who? What do you?
I'm confused.
Again.
All right, so
punctuation is key.
I mean, regardless of fairness, there's... Oh, crap. I did it again. Regardless of fairness, they're still gross. Ew. I hate to agree, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. Steve-O Bro Pro. Good on you, man. I don't know if you're the sport has against us.
Not really sure what you're saying.
But I just like the way you said it. I hate to agree, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. Word up, bro. Not a damn thing wrong with being grossed out by it. Yeah, he's right. Okay, let's try to figure this out. Walter Noel said...
God, this is like a game of Clue now.
It is. The butler with the candlestick in the dining room. Was I right? All right, so Walter Noel said, it is happening. Are you crazy? For example, boys play field hockey in the USA.
But what is happening?
So the trans athlete, the point we were trying to make was the media isn't covering female to male transitioning in professional and Olympic sports. Okay? That was the point we made on that podcast.
Are you sure?
So...
I don't know. I was in the conversation. I don't even know if that was the point. That was a fucking week ago.
I know. So we talked... The point we made about that was how...
What the fuck are we saying?
Everybody was kind of back and forth about how the male to female transitioning, competing in Olympic swimming was...
I thought it was just like not fair. Because it was just the whole not fair thing.
And then I made the point...
In regards to testosterone.
Yeah, and then I made the point about, and it's funny that you're not seeing this brought to light. The media isn't covering... Because you don't read about any of them. There's no female to male competing.
No, because the headlines are, Mary Jane, who is now Mike or whatever.
Mike Joe.
Placed 32nd in a 40-person race.
So...
whatever the fuck.
That's the point we were making.
Not a big deal. So
I believe this Walter Noel is saying it is happening. That there are female to male transitioning.
Yeah, but which we didn't
say it
that wasn't our...
All we said was...
that's the problem with fucking people. Like, no. They'll read the headline of an article and be like, fuck no. It's like, did you read the other 8 paragraphs?
So, okay, we're going to start from the beginning, and hopefully we can make some sense of this. Walter Noel says, it is happening. Are you crazy? For example, boys play field hockey in the USA. I've never... Okay... I don't understand what field hockey has to do.
Boys play field hockey. Like, right.
Okay. We weren't talking about field hockey, but everybody knows there are male and female field hockey. There are male and female, guess what? Lacrosse teams. There are female lacrosse teams, in case you didn't know that. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do this. There's a male and a female chess team, I bet. There's probably a male and female table tennis.
Whoa.
I know, I'm getting a little progressive here. Holy fuck.
Crazy now.
I gotta stop. All right, here we go. If it is happening, Walter Noel, it is happening. Are you crazy? For example, boys play field hockey in the USA. If the school does not have the team, girls play hockey on males' teams, but not a professional level. College isn't professional. I don't see fucking Mary J. Blige playing for the Detroit Red Wings.
What if they will be professional one day? Does that count?
So then my son, who plays baseball, is playing professional baseball.
Technically. Is he doping?
If the play on isn't the okay, so Redra 6ON said isn't the same thing. That's it. That's all. That's the end of that string. Eclipicat says. So I think Walter.
I think Walter's going in trying to argue us, but like we had a paragraph of thought. He took the first half of sentence and ran off in the other direction, and we're all looking at him take off. Like, all right, well, we'll just keep talking over here, I guess.
It's the guy
running that way, screaming at nobody.
It's like the guy that leaves midway through a lecture to take a piss, then comes back. What'd I miss? Damage is done, bud. Sorry. I gave everybody 100. Now you gotta really take the test. Okay, so here we go.
Let me tell you something else. We've moved on from that.
So, based off that, I want to say Walter Newell. I don't think he was against us.
How can you tell?
I don't think he fully comprehended that. Seriously.
I have no fucking idea.
I think he missed the point where we weren't saying it isn't happening at all.
You know, you're right. This is fun. Like live commentary.
Yeah.
Live comments coming
that's
in.
Great. But
just getting other people's perspective of what we were or weren't talking about.
He made a blind statement without knowing, if Walter Newell had come to us and said before he made a comment, hey, did you guys say it's not happening at all, or just the media isn't covering it?
That's fucking logical, though. No one's going to do that. They're just going to start screaming and stomping their feet like, opinion.
Right now, he's kind of leaning towards against. Like, if he's in the middle on a teeter-totter, he's kind of leaning where he may fall against
I think he just fell up.
Okay, so here we are. We're on Eclipicat now. Name several top-level male to female trans athletes who have been on hormones for the required time. They aren't unfair. The media just over-focuses on them. So now, Eclipicat...
Can you read that again?
Name several top-level male to female trans athletes who have been on hormones for the required time. They aren't unfair. The media just over-focuses on them.
No, male to female wouldn't be on hormones because they already have hormones.
They'd be on
estrogen blockers.
Yeah.
Or not estrogen. They'd be on hormone blockers. Yeah.
Hormone blockers.
Or testosterone blockers.
Hormone blockers. It's a hormone blocker. Well, testosterone's a hormone, and so is estrogen. So he's...
But again, right from that, this completely different fucking topic.
Name several top-level male to female trans athletes who have been on hormones for the required time. So basically, yeah, you guys are wrong. Name only male to female trans athletes.
They're bots. They're bots. They're fucking bots. That's I'm going to say right now. They're just bots.
We didn't say. Regardless of...
See, you can't even just formulate any kind of, you can't... I can't formulate something to talk about you not being able to formulate something. This is how fucking crazy this has gone. This is so crazy.
So this guy is saying...
It's blockchaining.
The media is only focusing on the male to female trans athletes. That's what the topic was. That's what we said. Okay, so then Walter Newell says, and there is a female trans athlete swimming on a male team as a trans athlete in Division I college. So again, wrong.
I specifically remember in that conversation, I say, that is a blanket statement. I could probably almost quote it. That's a blanket statement because there was a female on... my wrestling team, or not on my wrestling team. Yeah, and she faced like the 170-pound... she was a bull and faced a 170-pound... Again, that has nothing to do with male or female being on teams or like the opposite team. That's just, as a blanket statement, it's not fair. There are exceptions all across the board in any sport and any whatever. There could be females that are incredible receivers or quarterbacks in football. But as a general rule... male and female are not built the same. They're just not. And you can't argue that. There's a bell curve there. And it's been shown in tons and tons and tons of graphs. There's a bell curve. Like tensile grip strength, speed, Just muscle build, structural, skeletal structure. It's just all in men's favor. There are exceptions in either direction, but as a general rule,
maybe I'm a bot because I'm reading these and I'm starting to be able to put together what they're trying to say. So he said, and there is a female trans athlete swimming on a male team as a trans athlete in Division I college. So again, wrong. So then Eclipicat. Now I will read it verbatim, then I will translate it for the folks at home. WTF does that mean a female competing on a male team HTF? Now, what that translates to in English, what the fuck does that even mean? A female competing on a male team? What the fuck? Walter Newell then posts back. So even Eclipicat, at that point,
this is like more confusing than the Johnny Depp fucking Heather Amber Heard trial.
Walter Newell responds with, "This will put women's sports back 100 years. Think about if men." Oh, okay, I'll read it verbatim, then I'll translate.
I like the misogynist tweets and stuff. This makes me laugh.
"This will put women's sports back 100 years. Think about if men and women should play in their own sports, then women will not be able to play in man's, as a man is."
Yeah.
Because he has MAN apostrophe S. Not man's is in the plural.
Yeah.
MANS.
It's not even supposed to be man's, men's.
Men's, yeah. So what it translates to is, this will put women's sports back 100 years. Think about if men and women should play in their own sports, then women will not be able to play in men's. Not man's. Man is. It's men's. I'm not even going to touch that one. I can't figure it out. That one, it's like...
I'm not gonna lie. Me and probably everyone listening to this is probably lost about 5-10 minutes ago. Like, it's fucking too confusing.
Oh, fuck it. I'm done. I can't think right now. I think I just...
This is why I just don't usually pay attention to the quotes. I just kind of post it and let it go. Let it do whatever.
You know what it made me feel like just now? It made me feel like I had 2 brain cells left in my brain and they were fighting for 3rd place.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Walter Newell, Eclipicat. No offense, guys. I could not make out a fucking word you just said.
It was fun. Yeah. So let's go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leaving Twitter trending. After all this bullshit with this free speech and Elon and Twitter, our current administration comes up with the Disinformation Governance Board, which there's a lot of people calling it the Ministry of Truth. Now, for anyone who's read the book, 1984, you know what the Ministry of Truth is. For those of you who don't know what the Ministry of Truth is,
I'm gonna love this. Let me hear it.
The Ministry of Truth in the book 1984 was an organization that specifically rewrote history books to conform with the current ideals of the administration. So they have an idea, they'd rewrite it, and they'd use common speak, which was the dumbing down of all the language. And if something changed in their timeline, they would rewrite the history books again. And they just keep doing it to fit the narrative. So that's what they're comparing it to. So they're calling it the Disinformation Governance Board. Disinformation being like ivermectin, being like COVID not being a death sentence, the disinformation of this last winter being a winter of death, like Biden put it back in November or whatever it was, when he said, if you don't get your vaccinations, this is going to be a winter of death.
Yeah.
What? Misinformation. The Hunter Biden laptop story, misinformation.
How y'all doing?
What are you doing? Hi.
What are y'all doing, guys? You know what? He was a live guy I follow. We should put him on right now. Hey, buddy. Join on in.
Come on in. Yeah, so they create the Disinformation Governance Board. That I think is dangerous. Because that is a group that specifically is... Basically, they're taking what Twitter and all these social platforms are doing and turning it into a across-the-board internet thing. not just like here. Where are you going? Bye. Well, he got censored.
Oh, I'm back. Yeah, let's go left. I mean, what the hell?
So yeah, that's why everyone would say, like a lot of people are like, sounds like the Ministry of Truth if you ask me. But again, like if you haven't read it or listened to it, it's on audiobook.
I'll have to listen to it. I haven't read that book in...
It's a long... I listened to it on audio. It's like 10 and a half hours.
It's probably 20 years ago.
But yeah, I think it's funny because I just listened to it maybe like a month or so ago. And then I saw the disinformation thing come up this week, and I didn't instantly attach it to like Ministry of Truth, but the same kind of idea was there. I'm like, that's kind of creepy. And then I heard a whole bunch of people were saying like, that sounds like the Ministry of Truth. I'm like, fuck, it kind of does sound like the Ministry of Truth. Like the Ministry of Peace is about war. Like that.
Well, I remember reading 1984. I think it was back in high school.
Maybe it was.
The book's been out for a long time.
Do you think is that in like curriculum now?
No, God, no.
I can't imagine it being in curriculum.
That would not be. That'd be like Slaughterhouse 5.
Why not?
They pulled that book years ago.
Newsmax. This is from their Twitter feed. They put out a poll. They said 60% of the U.S. voters want the White House to be transparent about the mental health state of President Joe Biden and want him to submit to a cognitive health test. What I think is interesting about that is, never mind, like just they're polling 60%. The fact that 60% of the people are not saying he's definitely something's wrong with him, like get him out of office. They're 60% of the people in the poll are saying maybe he should be tested because something definitely isn't right. I mean, mind you, he had 2 strokes, I think. One was a widowmaker. Yeah. And they actually had the top of his fucking skull off during the surgery, and he survived it, which I guess there was like 60 or 65% chance that most people, or something like that most people don't make it out of that, but he did. But after that, like, if you've seen video of Joe Biden back 20 years ago or more, I mean, he was sharp. Yeah. He was sharp. And then now he's not.
I agree. This might get us some backlash, but whatever.
I don't think so. Anyone who listens to when I tag these, especially on TikTok, when I tag them for both ends of the conversation.
A lot of our presidents are older. There's nothing wrong with that. No. But I do think
Biden's 78 or 9.
I'm sorry, but you should.
I think Trump's 77.
There should be a level of physical capability and mental capability you need to have. I mean, come on. That'd be like putting Christopher Reeves in charge of the horseback riding club. Too soon?
I think he does. I don't know if he'd ever want to even be near any horses or anything. How's he doing anyway?
We're going to hell. Hell yeah, we are. No, but that's what I'm saying. If you physically can't be capable, physically or mentally, and I'm not saying, as long as he's physically capable.
He tripped upstairs 3 times.
I'm not saying, if he's physically capable.
Anyone could do that, I mean, but.
I'm not saying if a person is physically capable but not mentally capable, they should be allowed to run the country. No. If a person's mentally capable but not physically capable, they should be allowed to run the country. No. I believe you there.
I would.
Mentally over physically, yes.
Yeah. If they're not mentally there, they should not be there. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, if you are the leader of the free world, if you are not mentally capable, you do not fucking belong in the Oval Office at all.
Oh, Gerald Ford. Wasn't it Gerald Ford had like the disease with his legs?
Gerald Ford.
I forgot which one it was. One of our presidents did have a leg disorder or a disease that crippled him for a little while, but then he got back or something like that. So yeah, all right, then I'll retract that.
Well, yeah, but that's physical. Physical is one thing. Whatever.
Mentally, a person should be 100% mentally capable in order to run
absolutely.
a country.
Like I don't see how anyone can argue that.
That'd be like putting Stone Cold Steve Austin in charge of the surgery team, heart surgery team. No offense. I love you, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
How the hell would I don't...
No medical training whatsoever.
I don't know.
But the guy's physically capable.
He knows how to use a bedpan.
The guy's physically capable to... The guy... All right. What was the witch doctor's name in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom? Oh.
It's magic. You know.
What was his name?
They worship Kali.
Kali Ma. Yeah. What was his name? Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Put him in charge of the heart surgery team. Sure, the fucking guy knows how to pull your heart out of your chest.
Yeah, and like it seemed relatively painless, and it healed itself instantly.
Yeah, and you were able to live without it.
He probably knows what to do.
He's good enough to make you live without a heart.
Oh yeah. This isn't yours. Oh. He's a leftist.
What I'm saying is...
This isn't yours. Well, watch you take it.
What I'm saying is he's physically capable to do the job, but not mentally capable.
I think he's very mentally capable to do that job. He did it very well.
Yeah, look how that turned out for him.
He just burnt up the other guy.
He didn't. No, he got eaten by alligators.
Oh, that was the people that fell off. Oh yeah, the doctor guy, the witch doctor. He fell off.
No. Well, what's he say? Something, Dr. Jones.
Who?
Show around.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones.
Hold on to your potatoes.
He's got the blocks for the pedals. Oh shit.
Yeah, so I think Joe Biden, I think the White House does need to be accountable for that. They should. And that's not even Joe Biden. I think there should be a mental test every year. I mean, we have to get,
especially if we're going to keep putting old fucking dudes in there. No offense or nothing.
We have to get physicals every year for the fire department.
Our youngest president was John F. Kennedy in his 40s. You mean to tell me?
I think isn't it you have to be at least 45.
45
correctly. Yeah, all right.
Hold on.
I think it's at least 45 to run for president of the United States. But there should be a cap off of age too. Like, I mean, we're getting older as a society, which may or may not be good. I don't know.
We were wrong.
35.
35.
All right.
According to
I don't know why that
2,
popped in. Like, yeah, you know what? It is wrong. It's 35.
According to Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, the president must be a natural-born citizen of the United States, be at least 35 years old, and have been a resident of the United States for 14 years.
Dude, let's run for president.
We could be. We could run for president.
Let's start a not a GoFundMe. A Give, Send, Go for president of the United States, and a GoFundMe for our pilot's license so we can fly in. The JFK.
Oh, and I was wrong. John F. Kennedy wasn't. The youngest person to assume the presidency was Theodore Roosevelt, who at the age of 42 succeeded to the office after the assassination.
46?
43.
43?
The youngest to become president by election was John F. Kennedy, who was inaugurated at 43.
All right.
So even then, our youngest president was 42 years old by seceding
Right.
the former president who was assassinated, but the youngest to be inaugurated was 43. And now we've got a guy who's 70. He was 77 when he became president. That is a 35-year difference. 35 years.
There should be yearly aptitude test. Your ability to think correctly, clearly. I don't want to say correctly, because then correctly could kind of go along the lines of you wrong think. Again, 1984. But clearly, you should be able to have decent cognitive
You want
function.
to right think, but don't right think too much, because then you'll be left thinking.
Yeah.
But if you're wrong thinking, you're not right thinking. So you want to be right thinking.
Is this a left or a wife?
If you're right, you're not left.
When you're wrong, and when you're right, you're wronger.
Go make me a sandwich.
You see, the United States. This is off topic. Kind of end with this, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
The United States, the government's talking about getting into digital blockchain currency, cryptocurrency.
Oh,
their own cryptocurrency to basically devalue all the other cryptocurrency in the United States out there. that's fucking dangerous. Because what they're going to do then is basically they're taking fiat currency, shifting it into this new a true digital currency. Now, I mean, we sort of have it now, but it's still based on the gold standard. So what they do is just create a value system. From what I gather, they have complete control of. It's not by gold standard. It's by their standard. And that would just do away with all these cryptocurrencies. Or at least basically the cryptocurrency. Because what would happen is like all these businesses would then like, well, we're going to accept this currency because it's across the board and everyone's trading it. So then you'd have Bitcoin and Doge and...
it would devalue it.
And all of it, yeah. And it would basically just turn into pockets, small pockets. Like, well, you can use this, but here's your main currency. Which would cause a one world currency.
But I mean, is it really a bad thing? Let me ask you that.
That's the thing is...
Would a one world currency be so bad because then you wouldn't have to pay tax or pay fees?
Oh, no, there'd be tax and fees.
To convert your money from one country to another?
You are... All right, well, no, there wouldn't be that, but there would be a global tax or fee, which, what would that be?
Yeah, this is true.
Because there's not going to be no tax and fee.
Oh.
No way.
Who's your friend?
Oh, that's like ASMR.
Get it away from me.
Stereo sound. So the world we live in is just fun and interesting.
Keep the comments coming.
When exposing a crime is treated as committing a crime, you're ruled by criminals.
Yeah.
Snowden for president. No, fuck. Wait, no, maybe not.
Musk.
What are you wearing? Musk.
No, really. Essence of Musk. I collected this out of his journal.
I clean his bathrooms.